One thing whenever I hear that question, the first thing I think of is medicine in general, and specifically why I don't want to say moved, but had my focus shift from I don't want to say just patient care, but patient care to more of the research aspects. And that's really what got me here, you know, patient care research, you know. And the issue with that is, and the great thing about medicine is that you're always learning. And people who don't understand that are quite miserable. But it makes sense when you think about it. Medicine, thank goodness, is always evolving, and you have to keep up. Sometime, and I should have probably realized this long ago, knowing, you know, myself, I decided that I want to be part of the new knowledge. So a physician has to keep up with new knowledge, and then, you know, some physicians want to be part of the new knowledge. So that's where I am. Now, to answer your question, in terms of how creativity is kind of manifest in this job, considering, you know, it's science and there are rules to science. I think a great example is kind of what we're struggling now, without saying too much, but there is an issue with, you know, developing an endpoint for one of our studies that really, and I'm not exaggerating, people have been struggling with for 20 years. And it's come to a point where we have to figure it out and put our nickel on something with not just let's just do something, but let's, you know, really think about these things, bring in everything we can in terms of, you know, old knowledge, new knowledge, evolving knowledge, and come up with something the best that, you know, that is the best that we can. And to my mind, it's going to be considerably better than what has been offered before. So, so that's what I mean by creativity. Now, I think the easiest thing is to say, okay, what's the best that's out there, as opposed to, let's see what the best is out there, and then just, you know, change it to something that's a bit better. If not a moment, it was a series of moments where I was at UCSF, I was junior faculty, you know, kind of being, you know, to use a colloquial term, low woman on a totem pole. I think being treated unfairly because you're junior faculty and you could just get jumped on. And I believe it was a friend of mine who I hadn't spoken to in forever and said, oh, by the way, I'm at BMS. She was an oncologist and she was at Bristol Myers Squibb. Oh, really? When did that happen? And then this sort of new world opened up in terms of, you know what, you can do what you like. And it doesn't have to be the only thing that you've ever known, academia, you know? And I think that was the moment where I said, you know what, I don't have to put up with this. I can still do research. Be in the windmill of academic medicine, but it's actually going to be, you should believe people when they tell you you don't have to figure it all out all at once. You know, I don't like the term overachiever, but that's what I've been labeled as. And I know when you're driven, you know, it always seems like you want to know the answer and want to know the path. And then when people tell you, you know, in college, it's okay if you don't know your major the day you're coming in, or concentration, whatever. Or in medical school, it's okay if you don't know, you know, what your specialty is going to be by, you know, the second week. It's okay. And it's, I would say, enjoy and learn from the process, as opposed to having the process be just a way to get to a goal. That the process is the point. But in terms of concrete advice, I would say whatever you are interested in, pursue it, and do it unabashedly, and it doesn't all have to be science. You can be a great scientist, and the best scientists are, also musicians and artists and other things, and you don't have to breathe science to show that you're serious about science. And I think the creativity that we've been speaking of is actually developing that. Your time is well spent becoming not just a science person, and it helps your science. It's a way of approaching the world, and by extension, a problem, whether it's how to set up an experiment or answer a question. It's a way of being flexible, almost, in terms of, I'm into photography. So learning that there are different ways to, crop a shot, or, you have your same subject, but go over there and film it from there, and I think it almost unconsciously comes into how you see other things, including what you do at work. I think that, whatever it is, it doesn't even have to be anything concrete, anything like that. I think anything that expands you, expands your ability to take in more data, more perspectives, more everything. And to the extent that you can kind of widen that, I think it helps, everything, I think, in your life.